Mary, a gifted architect, felt the weight of her demanding job. The city's constant buzz had become overwhelming. She longed for peace. She craved inspiration. A trip to Mark Italy was her escape. She dreamt of charming canals and stunning architecture. Mary yearned for solitude, a chance to reconnect with her artistic soul.
I need to find myself again, away from the chaos.
Meanwhile, Alex, a free-spirited travel photographer, thrived on spontaneity. He had just finished a project in Paris. His camera, his constant companion, whispered tales of unexplored beauty. Alex decided to follow his adventurous spirit. He booked a train ticket to Mark, seeking breathtaking landscapes and new stories to capture.
There's so much out there waiting to be discovered.
Two souls, different paths, a shared destination. Little did they know, fate had a plan. Their lives were about to intertwine on the rails of destiny. The crisp autumn air swirled with fallen leaves as Mary arrived at the Gare de Lyon. The station bustled with travellers, each with their own story. But Mary found solace in the familiar weight of her sketchbook and the quiet anticipation of her journey. Paris, the city of love, was her point of departure, a bittersweet farewell to her routine.
It's time for a new chapter.
Across town, Alex raced through the charming streets, his camera bag slung over his shoulder. The aroma of freshly baked bread wafted from a nearby boulangerie. But Alex had no time to stop. He was a man on a mission, driven by the thrill of the unknown. He reached the station just as the train to Mark was about to depart.
Made it just in time.
He boarded, feeling the energy of new beginnings. Each tick of the clock, each announcement over the loudspeaker, brought them closer to their destined encounter. The train, a symbol of journeys and connections, held the promise of something extraordinary. Mary found her seat by the window. The French countryside sped by in a blur of colours. She opened her sketchbook, her hand moving instinctively. The rhythmic sway of the train soothed her soul. She was lost in her own world, oblivious to the man who would soon change everything.
This is perfect.
Alex settled into a vacant seat. He glanced around the carriage, his eyes drawn to the woman with the auburn hair lost in her art. He felt an inexplicable pull, a curiosity he couldn't ignore. Gathering his courage, he decided to approach her. Destiny, it seemed, was about to play its hand.
Mind if I sit here?
This simple question, uttered amidst the clatter of the train, marked the beginning of their shared story. The wheels of fate were in motion, carrying them towards a serendipitous encounter that would change their lives forever. Startled by the voice, Mary looked up from her sketchbook. Her eyes met Alex's, a warm brown that held a hint of mischief and a spark of curiosity.
Not at all.
She replied, her lips curving into a polite smile. She closed her sketchbook, marking the page with her finger before placing it on the table beside her. The train rattled along the tracks, the rhythmic clatter a soothing background hum. Alex settled into the seat opposite her, placing his well-worn camera bag on his lap. He offered a kind smile, a silent acknowledgement of the shared space.
Looks like we're both on a journey.
Mary couldn't help but notice the way his eyes seemed to dance with a quiet energy, reflecting the vibrant landscapes captured in the photos peeking out from his bag. A comfortable silence settled between them, punctuated by the rhythmic clickety-clack of the train wheels against the tracks. Mary stole glances at her travel companion, curious about the stories etched on his face, the experiences that lit up his eyes. She sensed an adventurous spirit, a kindred soul drawn to the beauty of the world.
Maybe this trip will be more than I expected.
And so their journey began, two strangers bound by a shared space and an unexpected connection, ready to discover what lay ahead.
Are you an artist?
Alex asked, breaking the silence. He gestured towards her sketchbook, his voice tinged with a quiet respect.
I'm an architect. I sketch to clear my head, to find inspiration.
Mary felt a blush creep up her neck as she replied, her fingers tracing the edge of her sketchbook.
I'm a photographer. I travel the world, capturing moments, searching for beauty in unexpected places.
Alex nodded, his gaze lingering on the detailed drawings. A shared passion for art, for capturing the essence of the world, formed an invisible thread between them. Mary's initial apprehension melted away, replaced by a spark of genuine interest. They talked about their work, their inspirations, the places they had seen and the dreams they held close. Her love for the intricate details of architecture resonated with his passion for framing the perfect shot. As the train sped through the French countryside, a picturesque landscape of rolling hills and vineyards unfolded outside their window. With each passing mile, their conversation flowed more easily, revealing shared passions and unexpected commonalities.
I've always been fascinated by the history etched into every brick and archway, the stories whispered by ancient buildings.
Mary, usually reserved and introspective, found herself opening up to this stranger with a kind smile and eyes that seemed to hold the stories of 1,000 journeys.
And I've seen some breathtaking landscapes, vibrant cultures. Each place has its own unique story.
Alex, usually a man of few words, was captivated by Mary's quiet intelligence and the depth she poured into her art. The train became their shared world, a cocoon of conversation and connection amidst the rhythmic sway of the journey. They sipped coffee from flimsy plastic cups, the bitter warmth a comforting counterpoint to the autumn chill outside. They shared stories, dreams, and aspirations, unaware that destiny was weaving its magic with every shared laugh and stolen glance. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the Italian countryside, the train pulled into the bustling station of Mark. A wave of excitement, tinged with a hint of nervous anticipation, washed over Mary as she gathered her belongings. The journey, which had begun with a desire for solitude, had taken an unexpected turn.
This is us.
Alex said, his voice laced with a note of regret that mirrored her own. He reached for his camera bag, his gaze lingering on Mary for a moment longer than necessary. As they stepped off the train and onto the bustling platform, the aroma of the sea mingled with the scent of freshly baked pizza, creating a sensory symphony that was uniquely Mark. Mary took a deep breath, her heart pounding with a mixture of exhilaration and uncertainty. The city, with its charming canals and promise of artistic treasures, awaited. And somewhere, amidst the labyrinthine streets and hidden piazzas, destiny had a plan for the architect and the photographer who had found each other on a train bound for Serendipity. Stepping out of the train station, Mary and Alex were greeted by the unique charm of Mark. The air, thick with the salty tang of the sea, carried the melodic calls of gondoliers and the distant hum of life on the canals. The city, a labyrinth of narrow streets and waterways, seemed to beckon them, promising adventures at every turn.
Where to first?
Alex asked, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. He adjusted the strap of his camera bag, his gaze sweeping over the bustling scene before them. Mary, usually a meticulous planner, found herself surrendering to the spontaneous energy that seemed to radiate from Alex.
Let's get lost,
she replied, a smile lighting up her face. And so they did, their steps light and carefree as they plunged into the heart of the floating city. Each bridge they crossed, each narrow alleyway they explored, revealed a new facet of Mark's enchanting beauty. Their wanderings led them to the heart of Mark St. Mark's Square. Mary gasped, awestruck by the grandeur of the basilica, its intricate facade shimmering under the afternoon sun. Pigeons took flight, their wings beating a chaotic rhythm against the backdrop of centuries-old architecture. Alex watched Mary, captivated by the way her eyes lit up with wonder, reflecting the beauty of the scene before them.
It's breathtaking,
She whispered, her fingers itching to capture the intricate details in her sketchbook. Alex, sensing her need to create, stepped back, giving her space while he raised his camera, framing the perfect shot. He captured her silhouette against the backdrop of the basilica, her hair bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun. They spent hours exploring the square, Mary sketching the intricate details of the Doge's palace, while Alex captured the play of light and shadow on the ancient stones. They sipped espresso at a cafe table, watching the world go by, their conversation as effortless as the gentle sway of the gondolas on the nearby canals. As dusk settled over the city, casting long shadows across the canals, Alex surprised Mary with a gondola ride. They boarded a sleek black gondola, its polished wood gleaming under the glow of the streetlights. The gondolier, his voice a melodic counterpoint to the gentle splash of water against the hull, navigated the narrow waterways with practiced ease.
This is incredible.
Mary leaned back against the plush velvet cushions, her senses overwhelmed by the beauty of the city at night. The buildings, illuminated by a soft golden light, seemed to float on the water, their reflections dancing in the rippling surface of the canals. Alex, his camera capturing the magic of the moment, couldn't help but steal glances at Mary, her profile illuminated by the moonlight, her eyes sparkling with wonder.
I'm glad you're here with me.
They glided beneath ancient bridges, the sound of their voices hushed whispers against the backdrop of the city's nocturnal symphony. The gentle rocking of the gondola, the cool night air, the closeness of their bodies, it was a moment suspended in time, a dream-like interlude in the heart of the floating city. Later that evening, they found themselves at a small, secluded cafe nestled along a quiet canal. Fairy lights twinkled overhead, casting a warm glow over the tables draped in checkered cloths. They shared a bottle of local red wine, its fruity aroma mingling with the scent of the sea air.
With each sip, our conversation flowed more easily. My dreams of designing buildings that touched the soul, structures that blended seamlessly with their surroundings, just spilled out.
And I spoke of my desire to capture the beauty of the world through my lens, to share my unique perspective with others.
As the stars twinkled above them, reflected in the dark water of the canal, they confessed their fears and insecurities, their hopes and aspirations. They discovered a shared love for art, a mutual appreciation for the beauty of the world, and a growing attraction that neither of them could deny. The night stretched on, each shared story, each stolen glance, weaving a tapestry of connection that would forever bind their hearts to this magical city of water and wonder. Days melted into a blissful blur as Mary and Alex explored Mark's hidden treasures. Each shared experience, from savouring creamy gelato on the steps of a sun-drenched piazza to getting delightfully lost in the labyrinthine alleyways, brought them closer.
Inspired by the city's architectural wonders, my sketchbook was overflowing with intricate details and bold designs.
And my camera, an extension of my heart, captured the city's soul through our shared moments. A stolen glance, a burst of laughter, the way the sunlight danced in Mary's hair as she sketched.
One afternoon, they stumbled upon a bustling market, a kaleidoscope of colours and scents. Vendors hawked their wares, hand-painted ceramics, delicate lace, Murano glass jewellery that shimmered like captured rainbows.
I bought Mary a silk scarf, its deep blue echoing the depths of the Venetian canals.
And I gifted him a leather-bound journal, its pages waiting to be filled with stories of our adventure.
As they strolled through the market, their laughter echoing through the crowded stalls, Mary realised she had never felt so free, so fully herself. Alex, usually a nomad at heart, found himself yearning for the warmth of their shared moments, the way their laughter mingled with the city's vibrant symphony. He had captured breathtaking landscapes all over the world, but it was the quiet joy on Mary's face that he found himself wanting to preserve forever. The day before their departure, they found themselves drawn to the Rialto Bridge as dusk painted the sky in hues of rose and gold. Below them, the Grand Canal shimmered, a ribbon of molten silver reflecting the city's fading light. Gondolas glided silently, their passengers like figures in a dream. The air was thick with anticipation, the promise of a Venetian night about to unfold.
We leaned against the bridge's railing, our shoulders brushing. A comfortable silence settled between us, a testament to the easy intimacy we had forged.
Mary gazed at the cityscape, her heart overflowing with a bittersweet mix of joy and sadness. Alex, usually a man of action rather than words, felt a surge of emotion he couldn't contain.
I've never met anyone like you.
His voice was husky with emotion. He turned to face her, his gaze searching hers.
This week, IT, quote, S, been more than I could have ever imagined.
Mary's breath caught in her throat. His words, spoken with such sincerity, mirrored her own unspoken feelings. The connection they had found, as unexpected as it was undeniable, had woven its magic around their hearts. The next morning, they stood on the train platform, their suitcases packed. The weight of their impending separation heavy in the air. The journey that had thrown them together was about to carry them back to their separate lives.
I don't want this to end,
Mary whispered, her voice barely audible above the hiss of steam and the rumble of arriving trains. She clutched her sketchbook, its pages filled with memories of their shared adventure, sketches of breathtaking architecture, scribbled notes from their conversations, a pressed flower Alex had tucked into the pages, a silent reminder of their time together.
Me neither. But maybe this isn't the end. Maybe it's just the beginning of a different kind of adventure.
Alex cupped her face in his hands, his touch sending a jolt of longing through her. The train whistle blew, a shrill sound that sliced through the bittersweet moment. It was time to board, time to face the uncertain future that awaited them. As Mary stepped onto the train, she risked a glance back at Alex, his silhouette framed against the backdrop of the station. Their eyes met, a silent promise exchanged in the space between them. They settled into their seats, the train slowly pulling away from the station. Mark, with its canals and bridges, its hidden courtyards and whispered promises, faded into the distance.
They had shared something rare and precious, a connection that transcended time and distance.
Mary felt a pang of loss, a sense of being untethered. Yet amidst the sadness, a flicker of hope ignited within her. Alex, despite his nomadic nature, couldn't shake the feeling that a part of him remained in Mark, intertwined with Mary's laughter and the memories they had created. He had never stayed in one place for long, always chasing the next adventure.
But Mary, with her quiet strength and her passion for finding beauty in the ordinary, had awakened something new within him, a yearning for something more than fleeting moments.
As the train sped towards an uncertain future, they were no longer strangers brought together by chance. They were two souls, forever linked by a serendipitous encounter on a train bound for Mark. And in the depths of their hearts, a silent promise echoed, a promise to find their way back to each other, to write the next chapter of their story together. The rhythmic clatter of the train lulled Mary into a contemplative silence. Mark, with its magical canals and the echo of shared laughter, felt a world away. The weight of their impending separation pressed down on her, a stark contrast to the carefree joy of the past week.
Back in her compartment, the reality of her life in Paris awaited, her demanding job, her meticulously organized apartment, a life built on routine and predictability.
Alex, too, felt the shift in the atmosphere. The easy banter that had filled their days was replaced by a comfortable silence, a silence pregnant with unspoken emotions. His camera, usually his constant companion, lay dormant in its bag.
He found himself lost in thought, replaying moments from their trip, Mary's delighted gasp at the sight of St. Mark's Basilica, the way her eyes lit up when she talked about architecture, the feel of her hand in his as they strolled through the bustling market.
The closer they got to Paris, the more the weight of their separate lives pulled at them. The thought of returning to their routines, of their paths diverging once more, filled them both with a sense of profound loss. The train, which had brought them together, was now carrying them back to a reality that felt incomplete, a world where their shared laughter no longer echoed.
What if... Mary began, her voice hesitant, a tremor of uncertainty in her tone. She turned to face Alex, her heart pounding in her chest. What if we didn't say goodbye?
Alex's heart skipped a beat. He had been wrestling with the same question, the same impossible hope. "What are you suggesting, Mary?" he asked, his voice a low murmur, afraid to break the fragile spell that had settled between them.
Mary took a deep breath, gathering her courage. "I'm taking a sabbatical," she confessed, her voice gaining strength with each word. "I was planning to travel to find inspiration for my work. What if we traveled together?" The words hung in the air between them, charged with a thrilling possibility.
Alex's heart soared. He had always embraced spontaneity, but this felt different. It was a leap of faith, a chance to rewrite the script of their lives. "Are you sure?" Alex asked, his voice husky with emotion. He needed to hear her say it, needed to know that this wasn't just a whimsical dream.
Mary met his gaze, her eyes shining with a newfound determination. "Yes," she breathed, her voice firm despite the tremor that ran through her. "I've never been more sure of anything in my life."
And so, with a shared smile and a heart full of hope, they altered their plans. The train that was meant to mark the end of their journey became the beginning of a new adventure. They disembarked in Florence, the city of art and romance, beckoning them with the promise of shared discoveries. Gone was the bittersweet taste of parting, replaced by the exhilarating thrill of the unknown. Florence welcomed them with open arms, its cobblestone streets, its majestic Duomo piercing the sky, the aroma of freshly brewed espresso and the melodic lilt of the Italian language washing over them like a warm embrace. They wandered hand in hand through the bustling markets, marvelling at the exquisite leather goods and the vibrant paintings that captured the city's soul. Their days were filled with laughter and shared discoveries. They explored the Uffizi Gallery, losing themselves in the masterpieces of Botticelli and Michelangelo. They sipped Chianti in charming trattorias, sharing plates of pasta and stories of their lives. They strolled along the Arno River at sunset, the city's golden light painting their faces with a warm glow. With each passing day, their bond deepened, strengthened by shared experiences and a love for embracing life's unexpected detours. They had found each other on a train bound for serendipity, and now, hand in hand, they were writing their own love story. A story that began with a chance encounter and blossomed into a journey filled with laughter, adventure, and the enduring power of human connection. The train to Florence sped through the Italian countryside, a blur of vineyards and cypress trees flashing past their window. Mary gazed out at the picturesque scenery, her hand intertwined with Alex's. The warmth of his touch spread through her, a comforting anchor in the whirlwind of emotions that stirred within. Their journey together was just beginning, a testament to the serendipitous nature of life and the powerful pull of human connection. They had boarded separate trains, their lives on seemingly parallel tracks, yet fate had intervened, drawing them together in a shared compartment, a shared adventure. Mary, once content with the solitude of her sketchbook, now found solace in Alex's presence, his laughter a melody that resonated deep within her soul. Alex, usually a nomad at heart, discovered a newfound sense of belonging in Mary's company. Her quiet strength, her passion for finding beauty in the everyday had awakened a longing within him, a desire to build something lasting, something anchored in the shared moments that had woven their lives together. He had travelled the world, capturing breathtaking landscapes through his lens, yet it was the quiet joy in Mary's eyes, the way her smile lit up her face, that he now yearned to preserve forever. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the rolling hills, they arrived in Florence, the city of art and romance. The air thrummed with a vibrant energy, a symphony of life echoing through the cobblestone streets. Hand in hand, they stepped off the train, ready to embrace the next chapter of their shared story. Their journey had not been without its moments of uncertainty, the weight of their separate lives a constant reminder of the challenges they faced. Yet, in choosing each other, they had chosen to embrace the unknown, to leap into the abyss of possibility, their hearts intertwined, their spirits soaring. The train journey that had brought them together had become a metaphor for their love, a serendipitous encounter that had set their lives on a new course, a shared destination that promised a future filled with laughter, adventure, and the enduring power of human connection. Their love story, born on the rails of a train bound for Mark, was a testament to the beauty of unexpected detours, the transformative power of connection, and the enduring belief that sometimes the most extraordinary journeys begin with a single fateful encounter. And as they walked into the Florentine sunset, their fingers interlaced, their steps light, and their hearts full of hope, they knew that their adventure had just begun. A testament to the enduring power of love found in the most unexpected of places.